Hey guys, this is Tony with Geek Designs, and today I'm going to give you 5 tips for designing a logo. Remember, graphic design videos come out every Monday, so stay tuned for that. As a starting off graphic designer, you might think designing a logo is pretty easy, but actually it can be pretty difficult sometimes. You need to really balance good typography, good iconography, and you need to make it work and figure out how to do it right. These tips should help you do it. Tip number 1, start with pen and paper. I remember back in college that my teachers would always tell me that you need to start with pen and paper to start a design to make a good one. I used to think they were full of crap, but now I know they were telling the truth. You need to start with tools that restrict you to just basic shapes and lettering. This is going to allow you to get your ideas out and create something better. You might notice I didn't say start with paper and pencil. This is because you need to start with the tool that's not going to let you go backwards. This is why you need to not start on the computer also. You can make a bunch of ideas on a computer, but then you might go back and decide that you didn't like any of them. And then you're just back at zero. You need to start with a tool that's going to make you feel like you're committed. And you have to commit to a design idea to see it all the way throughout to see if it's worth it. That's why you need to do pen and paper. You can't go back with a pen. Unless it's erasable, but then it's not really even that erasing that well. So start with pen and paper, jot your ideas down, try to get the best ideas out of it, and try to follow them all the way through, instead of getting halfway and going backwards like you would on the computer. Also with the computer, you're going to have all these tools at your disposal. It may make you overwhelmed and not know how to fully flush out a single idea, and you might jump from one and jump to the other real quick. But with pen and paper, you can see an idea through, you can find a great one, and it will help you solidify a good idea. Tip number 2, start with black and white. It depends on who you talk to. Some people say start with color, some people say start with black and white. I'm in the camp for black and white. There's a couple reasons to it. The main reason is with color should more show off the brand. You should have a logo, no matter what color it is, you know what it is. Like when Apple had their 6-color logo, everyone still knew it was Apple, and then when they take that and strip it down just as black, everyone still knows it's Apple. You should do that. You should start with black and white so you know that no matter what it's going to look like or where it's going to be printed, it's still going to be recognizable as that company. And then the color you add to it will help show off the brand and then show the personality off of the brand. Start with black and white. Make sure you have a strong logo with good typography and a good icon. Or maybe just an icon or maybe just type. Make sure it works right in black and white before you start adding color to it. 3, stay away from gradients in a logo. Starting off graphic designers wanted to add a gradient or adding multiple gradients to a logo to make it pop more. But the thing is, gradients really don't help a logo. A logo should stand on its own in black and white and in full color with a flat color. This is going to make it stand out more, it's going to make it last longer, and it's going to make sure that no matter where you're printing, it'll print right. Say later on down the road, your client is wanting to do embroidery or screen printing. Embroidery really can't do gradient that well. And some screen printers can do it, but not many can, and it's expensive to pull it off right. So I would say stay away from gradients. They kind of look tacky if they're not done right, and they don't really add that much value versus a flat color design. Flat color will always be good. It'll always last. I mean, look at all the logos that have lasted. They usually don't have gradients in them. I mean, digital print is coming up, but it's not going to always be there. There's always going to be one application or 2 applications that your customer might use that they can't use a gradient in. So keep that in mind when designing a logo. Number 4, always keep it simple. A complicated logo never works. A logo needs to be simple, it needs to communicate well, and it needs to tell the customers what that company does. And a complicated one can't do that successfully. A good logo should have a good icon, it should have good typography, and maybe in 2017 it should have a tagline. I highly recommend that no company should have a tagline underneath their logo anymore. It doesn't really add any extra benefit to it. Now, this isn't going to be something that you're going to be able to wake up the next morning and say, I'm going to make a great simple logo. It's something you're going to have to learn. So start with getting rid of gradients, start using a handful of fonts, and start looking at some of the best logos out there and break them down, understand why did they do what they do, why is it so simple, why did they use this color, or why did they not use any color. This is a great way for you to start learning great logo design and then add it to your workflow. Number 5, make an iconic logo. This may be the hardest one to understand and grasp, but a logo needs to be iconic. It needs to be something that's going to stand the test of time. So think of some of the best logos out there. The Nike logo, the AT&T logo. These logos, once they were designed, haven't changed much. Maybe they added color, maybe they took away color, maybe there's been slight font changes, but they still have the same exact idea to them. You need to design a logo like that. I know this may be sounding like shooting yourself in the foot, but you need to design a logo to where your client doesn't need to get it redesigned. I know that seems like you're going to shoot yourself in the foot, but the truth is, if you design a logo that stands the test of time, you will get more clients that way than doing a dime a dozen logos that someone's going to have to redesign 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road. I would start studying some of the best logos that have ever been made, learn why they were designed the way they were, learn what went into that design, learn why the typography used, or what colors were used, or what shapes were used. Learn everything you can about them and try to reverse engineer it and use it for your own workflow. That's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this helps you with your logo design. Remember, design videos come out every Monday, so stay tuned for that and get subscribed for all the other wicked content on this channel. See you guys in the next one. Bye. Did you want to be in the video? Did you want to be in the video? Sorry.